90% of the time I'm in a hoodie, especially during fall. So, of course, randomness in this moment, I have my hoodie on and my coffee. So, life is good. But that's not what you're here for. To the video! What's up, you guys? I'm Christina. If you're new to my channel, please pause, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning, you know it's always good to see you. I love it when you come back and kick it with me. Warms my heart. So today, it's all about my favorite season. It's about fall, the palettes, the beautifulness, all that good stuff. I have 3 categories: affordable and drugstore, high-end, and luxury. I'm going to show you my top favorite in all 3. So for the first category, affordable and high-end, I'm going to try to get these in the screen, y'all, because my lens is tight. Anyway, the first one is such a beautiful palette. It is the Milani Gilded Tiara palette. So this one here. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm checking the monitor to make sure you guys can actually see things. So Milani Gilded Tiara, this palette surprised me. I love the colors. Trying to make it straight. The range in here, it's just beautiful. You have your browns, some pinks, some greens, and golds. I mean, this just screams fall to me, and it has a lot of different finishes. This one is just really good, and it's such an affordable price point. You can get a wide range of looks with this palette, and the quality is just really, really good. So this is the first one in the affordable category. So the second one I have that I think is an absolute must, and this one again just blew me away, like so many colors. So this NYX palette here, it's the Utopia palette. It's just gorgeous. You'll see a theme here. For me, I call them catch-all palettes. The ones that have just all of these beautiful different tones in it. You can pick cool, warm, everything in between in one palette. Those are absolutely my favorite, and I think essential for fall. And this NYX palette has it all. It's just kind of a little bit like the Milani, but it's a better range in that sense. And the price point, ridiculously good. And the quality is there, and it works on all different skin tones. So this is definitely one of my favorites. So the next one I have for you, I actually don't buy Morphe too much anymore. I started with Morphe and loved it, and I just have kind of moved into other brands. But for this one, I really, really liked this palette. I actually have a review on it. I'll try to link it below and put a little thumbnail up here. But it's the Morphe Madison Beer palette. This one is just beautiful. It has some softer tones. It has some deeper tones. You can get a really beautiful, like, deeper bronzy smoky eye. You can get a nice mauve smoky eye. You have, and this black is really a nice black, so you can deepen these colors up, deepen up your look. I thought this was just a great deal, and the quality on this one's good. Really good, actually. So this would be the next one that I have in this category. And what would an affordable category be without Colourpop? They do so many palettes, it's impossible to keep up with them. But there's 2 that I have in this category. This Grandeur, don't come for me for the pronunciation, y'all. This one is beautiful. First of all, look at this packaging. Nice, very nice. But then you look inside, and I love this one because it has, let me make sure you guys can see it. This beautiful blue here. It's a deeper blue, and I love the tones of this. This is definitely more of a sultry fall palette, and the quality is really, really, really good on this one. I always have some beautiful looks when I use this one, and it doesn't disappoint. It's one of those palettes where if I want to go a little bit more neutral, I can. If I want to build it up with something that's a little bit richer, I can. And it's just a nice little compact palette. So this one is definitely one that I would suggest, if I can hold it up, for fall. Love this one. And the next one I have, you guys, it's actually pretty new to my collection, and I actually have a video on this one too. You know the drill. I'll put a thumbnail if I can get it up there and link it in the description box. But it's the It's a Mood palette. This one, just gorgeous. Make sure you guys can see that. This palette, beautiful. This one takes the other ones and kind of expands on it. So you have some blues in here, whole row of greens and pinks. Well, not really pinks, it's more like a plum. This is such a good palette. I'm gonna say that a lot. Such a good, sorry guys. But this is really worth the money, and you get so many different shades. It's a great beginner palette as well because it kind of lays out the tones for you. And it's just one of my favorites, guys. I just got it and I actually really love it for fall. All the time, really. Alright guys, so this is the It's a Move palette. Now we're starting the high-end category, and this one was a find for me. Like, I love it. This is, for me, your typical but better warm tone palette. This is the Sigma Fiery Eyeshadow palette, so this one here. Oh, this one is, Sigma's quality on their shadows is just really, really good. I don't see too many videos. I don't know that I've actually even seen one on this one, but love this palette. It doesn't disappoint. It has your typical warm tones, but it adds just some oomph to them with these tones here, like this one, and that's a beautiful brown, that's a beautiful one on the lid. You get warm tone looks clearly because of this, but you get more depth to it in such a small palette. So this is one I definitely would recommend. I absolutely love this one. So it's the Sigma Fiery palette. Next up, I have two from one of my favorite brands. I love Melt Cosmetics. Their quality for most of them, I'd say like 90% of the palettes are just phenomenal. And some of them are a bit hit or miss, but this one, the She's and Parties, put it so you guys can see it. This is your, oh, I have a video on this one too that I will put somewhere again. But this one, oh man, it's just gorgeous. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. I don't know what else to say about this one. I mean, I would say you have to like these tones, but for me, again, this is a fall color palette to me. Like, the richness, the depth. You're not going to get too many variety of looks from this. I mean, it's definitely one color story here, but the ones that you do get, oh, they're stunning. And they look beautiful on so many different skin tones. Oh, just gorgeous. Love this palette. She's and Parties by Melt. So the second one I have by Melt, you guys, I love me some grungy smoky eyes. Love them. I mean, oh. So for that, I have the Gemini palette. So smoky eyes, you have the olive, the greens is beautiful. You're not going to get a lot of, well, I mean, you know, you can kind of warm it up or deepen it up with this black here, smoke it out even more. But this one is just a neutral, smoky, grungy lover's dream. Love this palette. I'm just such a fan. Have a video on this one. It's one of my older ones. Don't come for me, but I will link it, of course. The next one I have in this category came out and it just blew up. It did. And rightfully so. It is the Jackie Aina palette. First, let me just show you this packaging. Oh, right? And it's even prettier in person. It's just, you touch it. Alright guys, let me actually show you the palette. Here. See? Yeah, there we go. This, sorry if it's a little sideways, so you know. This one is just, I mean, I'm gonna keep saying it. Fall is my favorite season because of the colors and all that good stuff. And this one captures it in a palette. It's just rich, beautiful, beautiful. You can get so many looks out of this palette. So many looks out of this palette, and the quality is incredible. Blends itself, super pigmented. All of those things you want in a palette, you're gonna get in this one. The Jackie Aina palette. This was my ride or die when it came out. I don't really get too much from this brand. They've been way more inconsistent than not for the past few years, unfortunately. But when this one came out, this Urban Decay Born to Run palette, you guys, I mean, I personally love, as you can see, the theme and the color stories. Make sure you got this in frame. You see it? Sorry guys, I'm looking down on my monitor to see if you guys can actually see it, but this one, I mean, now the quality on this one as opposed to like the Anastasia or even the Colourpop ones, it's not as great as that one, those, to be truthful, but you get, I remember when this first came out, I was like, oh my God, everything in one palette. So for me, this is one of those true catch-all palettes where you can get so many different tones of looks from it, and it's just absolutely one of my favorites for many reasons, but one of my favorites, the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. And the honorable mention for this category, and it's only honorable mention because they refuse to bring it out. This is such a popular palette. It is the Melt Muette palette. I have to show you the packaging. So beautiful. The actual palette itself, oh man, look at this. It's just like a work of art. So beautiful. Let me open it so you guys can see it. This one, this is gonna be interesting to hold up so you guys can see it. This is such an awkward thing to do, but everything for you guys, right? This is just insanely pigmented, insanely beautiful on the eye. This is just a stunning palette. I have a video on this one as well. But you can't get this one anymore. So if you have this palette, enjoy it in the fall. Enjoy it whenever you want, really, but beautiful palette. And for the luxury palette. Now for the luxury category. The first one I have is a Tom Ford Quad. I know. It is the Honeymoon Quad. This one is a wet dry formula. Probably one of his... These little brushes, you guys, these things, I don't do anything with them except for sit them in the palette. But anyway, this is the Honeymoon palette. This one is, again, insanely beautiful on the eye. And when you wet it, this formula, you can tell the wet dry formula by the TF in the actual shadow. Just stunning. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. This palette never disappoints me. The price tag, however, yeah, but then again, we're in that category. So the Tom Ford Honeymoon Quad, if you're gonna pick up one, I would absolutely suggest that one. This one. You guys, this next, what is it, 4 palettes, 2 of my favorite brands. Absolutely hands down favorite brands. And the first one is actually relatively new to my collection. She just came out with it. I have a video. I'll link it and show it and all that good stuff. But it's the Natasha Denona Retro palette. You guys, sorry, it's sideways. But the mauve tones and pink. I'm a die-hard pink fan, and all shades of pink. And this one, it's just, the quality is incredible. The shades, the colors, everything about this palette is just so stunningly beautiful to look at and just on the eye. It just didn't disappoint in any way at all. I could rave about this one, but this is, yes, I definitely suggest you pick it up. The Retro palette by Natasha Janona. The second one I have by Natasha Janona, yes, there's a video on this one too. This would be me in a palette, except for it doesn't have a lot of pinks. But other than that, when this one came out, let me tell y'all, woo, I about lost my mind, because, well, it's me in a palette. I'm trying to do it so you guys can actually see it. But it is the Metropolis palette. This one has to be on screen. On screen. This palette, I'm going to let it speak for itself. You get grungy looks, you get natural looks, you get beautiful blue tones and greens and rust and sienna and gold and bronze. It just has it all. And the quality, Natasha Denona quality. There's a reason her palettes cost so much. Just insane. This is hands down one of my favorite palettes. Hands down. The Metropolis Palette. Couldn't say it. Almost got it there. Alright, you guys. Yes. One of my second favorite all-time brands is Mcgrath. For so many reasons. Like her artistry, her curation of palettes, the quality, everything about it. And this was my first Natasha Denona palette. I'm sorry. Whoo! My first Mcgrath palette, the Bronze Seduction. Oh my goodness. This is the artwork. I am a packaging, you know, love the details on this. Had to show you guys the packaging. Now I'm sure you want to see the actual palette. This is going to be interesting to hold up. But this, my loves, is the palette. Can you see? Sorry guys, I'm so awkward trying to hold this up, but you'll get the point. This is just, she has special shades, the ones in the corner, or you can't really, can I? These four here, just dances like unicorns on your eyes. And then her matte, beautiful saturation. It's just, I'm awkward holding this up, but I love this palette. This is absolutely one I would suggest to pick up. Yeah, she has a lot of different kinds of palettes. I'll show you another one which is relatively new, but this one, you can get so many wearable looks. You can even smoke it out. Like, there's so much you can do with this one palette, and it's perfect for this season. Again, like I say, any season, you guys, this is the most awkward thing holding this up. Anyway, any season, love this palette. This is the Bronze Seduction palette by Mcgrath. And then another one that I just got, actually, and I love for so many different reasons, actually. This one is the Mega Mothership Celestial Odyssey. Sorry, wrong thing there. This palette, my goodness. Now this one I wouldn't necessarily, sorry guys, it's kind of dirty. This one I wouldn't necessarily suggest being the first Pat Mcgrath palette, but it is definitely worth it. As you can guess, I have a video. I will put it where it's supposed to be placed. But this one, you guys, you can do so much. It's a mostly shimmer palette. You just have about 4 mattes, but you can play with this one. You can amp up your look. You can do not so many wearable looks. You can do a couple of them, but this one is going to amp up any event you're going to with your look. And again, sorry if it's out of frame, but this one is it's absolutely worth it. It's new. It's limited edition, I believe. So you can absolutely still get it. Go get it. 100% go get it. Well, fam, those are my suggestions for fall palettes. I tried to give you as much of a selection as possible for 3 different categories as far as like where you want to spend your coins, how much you want to spend and whatnot, but these are absolutely my favorites, and I have a few others, but the video would have been way too long. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Of course, like the video if you like this content, want to see some more. And I'd love it if you leave a comment down below, like what are some of your favorite fall palettes? Did mine make your list, or do you have other ones? I'd love to know. Yeah, so you guys, that is it. That is all. I appreciate, as always, that you gave me some of your time. Whatever time it is for you, morning, noon, or night, I greatly appreciate that you gave me some of it. And happy fall, you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.